I mean, I like Andy, but I love this woman. And I want to make a choice.
You know you sound crazy.
All right, Sistas fans. Now, the question that fans have been, kind of ping-ponging back and forth since last week revolves around the idea of what the future holds for Andy and Gary. And the question that we're all looking at is, does Gary still love Andy? Or more specifically, does Gary love Andy or Penelope? Now, based on what he tells Hayden, I like Andy, but I love this woman, aka Penelope, because she's wifey material. And to be honest, some people were, quick to note, well, Jeremy, go back to episode 18, like when the couples are dancing and we see the way that Gary looks over at Andy and Jordan. It's like that's where he wants to be. But I don't know. I feel like in that situation, it was more so like Gary checking out Andy, like, is Andy running her mouth to Jordan? Is she about to expose me about what we had together? In a way, and look, this is just me, I think that he does love Penelope. You could argue like, well, Jeremy, I mean, if he likes Andy but loves Penelope, why was he trying to get married to Andy in like season 3? I mean, why did he propose to her in season 1 and then in season 2 and then the pop-up wedding in season 3? I feel like it's a mixture of multiple things. I know that's not like a decisive answer, but then again, this isn't a quote-unquote decisive series where we can we're left to interpret many things based off a little bit of evidence about various specific storylines. To me, based off what we've seen of Gary and how he acts, go back to, what was her name? I forgot her name because I know I looked it up for research a couple weeks ago about, what was the video I did? How many women has Gary cheated on? Was it Heather or Morgan? I forgot her name, but it was the name of that sex therapist he had. And I think that the sex therapist, she pretty much spelled out Gary, on a chalkboard, basically told him about himself. The reason he's having issues at the time, that is, the reason he's having issues being able to have sex with Andy is because the thrill of the chase is over. When he was married and having the affair, when Andy wouldn't give him the time of day and, he kept pursuing her, that's when, he was, well, to be blunt, hot and bothered to get with Andy. But as soon as the smoke cleared, the chase was over, the prize has been won, Andy is all his, the thrill is gone, and so is his ability to get aroused by her. So I feel like when it comes to Penelope, she's like the quote-unquote safe wifey material option, She's the one that what's that saying? Like, well, this person's the one you want to go out with and have a good time, but this is the person you want to bring home or come home to. So I feel like the cat and mouse game is the reason why Gary is so interested in Andy, because she's difficult. Penelope is the safe wifey option. And he doesn't want to make the choice, which is stupid when you really think about it. Because why would you drop millions of dollars on this one woman who is difficult? It's just like the question people ask, like, well, I mean, even Preston asked, like, when I went out with these other women, it was so simple. We were able to have conversations. It wasn't a lot of friction. It was so easy. But when it comes to you, the woman I'm in love with, everything is so hard. And it's like, yeah, that kind of just makes you look stupid when you really think about it, because if you had a shred of sense, you would realize that love shouldn't be this complicated. I mean, go back to the Zatima theme song. Love ain't perfect. But at the same time, if the person you quote unquote love is difficult in every sense of the word, and only one of you is putting in the effort into this quote unquote love, that should be a sign this person you love is not the person for you. So for me, I think Gary just gets off on this sick game. That's honestly what I think. It's kind of like, in some iterations of DC Comics, it's like, well, people think, oh, Batman doesn't kill Joker because he loves the back and forth between them, like in Justice where Superman killed Joker. And it's like, yeah, Batman was kind of grieving in his cave because it's like, oh yeah, his quote unquote criminal lover, in the sense of their cat and mouse game, was gone. Now he doesn't know what to do with himself. It's just like, wow, that actually kind of makes sense in a way. And given that Penelope is so quote unquote easy because she doesn't come with the high maintenance drama that Andy does, that's why Gary, got engaged to her. But you could also argue maybe it's because he wanted to make Andy jealous. But then again, how and when would Andy find out about the engagement and their future marriage and the baby? Because Gary was keeping everything under wraps. I mean, this is kind of as confusing as the timeline stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like, I think I put up a poll too about which woman does Gary love, and I think Andy was the one that won. And based off what we do know in season 7, Penelope is allegedly supposed to go missing, and Andy's going to be somehow blackmailed into into getting married to Gary. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the finale, I think that Penelope, Andy, and Fatima confront Gary about his true intentions, and I think that's going to be, revealed to the audience. But yeah, I think that Gary does love Penelope, but it's just the thrill of the chase. It's the thrill of Andy that keeps him going. So let me know your thoughts, because remember, these characters, it's almost like Tyler wants to make them compelling, but at the same time, he makes them super confusing instead. So let's talk about it in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.